is properly managed, but they have not been serving the region as a bloc. The Sub-Regional Fisheries Commission, with headquarters in Dakar, draws membership primarily from 7 countries: Cape Verde, Gambia, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Mauritania, Senegal, and Sierra Leone. These countries lose about $300 million yearly to illegal fishing. Through the mechanism of the Commission, these countries now have a framework in place to fight back through the Convention on Maritime Pursuit. Through these, pirate ships can be pursued and arrested when they seek refuge in other territorial waters.
The Commission has contributed a lot in the management of our resources, because in 1993 we signed a convention on hot pursuit, which where, you know, if a vessel commits an offense in the Gambia, the Gambian Navy or Marine can follow it in the other waters of other countries, especially the nearest is Senegal. And our minister signed the minimum condition, the convention on the minimum condition of access, which, you know, now if you want to go to the Gambia to have a license, you have to follow the same procedure as also in Guinea or member states of the Commission. And also we have what we call a monitoring and surveillance unit, which is a decentralized unit which is based in Banjul.
La Commission développe des cadres de concertation et appuie les États en la matière.
The Commission develops a consultational framework and supports states in this field. This is in total the experiences we have, and we are putting in place a database which includes data on fishing zones in general and supervision zones, but also all the data relating to commerce in the sub-region. And I believe that all these data and experiences can be shared with the remaining states of ECOWAS, and we are ready to cooperate with ECOWAS in this framework.
Since the Sub-Regional Fisheries Commission does not cover the whole of West Africa, in 2007, the Fishery Commission of the states of West Central Gulf of Guinea was established to cater for the countries not covered. Its members are Benin Republic, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, and Togo.
You know, when we are talking about governance, we have all the instruments of management of fisheries, all of the measures that we have to undertake and initiate to manage our water resources for a sustainability manner. We have also all the measures that we use to combat illegal fisheries. And also we have the capacity building for the people working in the fishery sectors. We deal also with statistics. We know, before talking about fisheries, we do know what is the percentage of production that we have in our region and what will be the need from other regions. So it's better to have an idea about the production, but also the fishery stock in our region. As you are aware, some countries used to sign some agreements in fisheries, but they don't know the stock, the state of the stock that they are committing in the agreement. So this is some of the key issues that we used to deal with.
However, there has been no strategy that integrates all the countries of West Africa into one single framework for coordinated policies and action in the fishery sector. In September 2010, the West African Regional Bloc, ECOWAS, set a new course for the fishery sector. Ministers of fisheries in the region adopted the regional policy and strategy for the coherent management of the fisheries and aquaculture sector, developed under the ECOWAS Agriculture Policy, ECOWAP. A regional fisheries committee is responsible for the operation of this initiative in consultation with all the countries in the region, as well as all institutions and operators in the sector. This is the inaugural meeting of the committee, which will ensure that all ECOWAS member states work together to protect their interests in the fishery sector through the harmonization of various national policies. The committee will also enable the monitoring and coordination of activities in the fishing sector in the ECOWAS region. All interest groups in the sector are represented on the committee.
Member states have to harmonize their policies and efforts in the fishery sector. The region has the potential to increase fish production with efficient organization of key stakeholders. ECOWAS is determined to work for the development of the fisheries sector.
The Regional Fisheries Committee has set up 3 committees on governance, trade and aquaculture to address from a regional perspective the challenges in these 3 areas critical to the contemporary development of the fishery sector.
The governance is about integrating all the different interests and aspects of governance. You know, if we have different policies in 15 member states, you are talking about 15 different policies. These are the things that add up to incoherence. Now, ECOWAS' role is to ensure that 15 policies are harmonized. There might be, you know, individual peculiarities, but the framework should be the same. The commissions should know that this is where ECOWAS policy leads for fisheries and follow suit. The producer and professional organizations would also be on the same page as to where we are headed with fisheries. So we end up with an integrated system of managing, or if you like, coherent system of governing the fisheries sector.
We are trying to see what the improvements are, what are the inconsistencies that we find in our country, and try after these observations to make suggestions and recommendations that ECOWAS will try to achieve through our different states.
Aquaculture is one area that ECOWAS believes West Africa should take greater interest in. Experts are of the opinion that the current demand for fishery products cannot be met from the traditional open source, such as marine and inland fishing. Aquaculture is the practice that countries have therefore adopted as a viable option. However, countries in the West African region have been slow on the uptake.
We have seen that the capture of fisheries is diminishing, and the only way to replace that is through aquaculture.
Eugenie Fezo is an example of a successful fish farmer. Her farm in the hinterland of Benin Republic is so successful that she can only guess how many fingerlings and fishes the numerous ponds hold.
Que je vais le faire. C'est comme ça qu'on a acheté.
Fish farming is a profitable business now, especially with the Provac project. With the sale of fingerlings and matured fish, the yield is high. I produce much fish and people are still asking for more.
ECOWAS, along with its partners, is developing a policy for promoting aquaculture so that other Eugenies may emerge and boost income levels in the region. The sustainable policies will be driven by the Subcommittee on Aquaculture. Already, ECOWAS is training youths from various countries in the region on aquaculture at the Songhai farm in Port Novo. Just like in other areas of trade in the region, ECOWAS has recognized the need to promote regional trade in fishery products. West African countries import tons of fishery products worth millions of dollars from outside the region. Some of these imports can actually be met from within if only countries within the region will trade among themselves. The regional policy therefore seeks to create a network of farmers and develop a formal regional market.
We should put in place a system that will allow and facilitate the free movement of people and goods, that will help us to have good products through fishing, so that the products can be sold everywhere in the sub-region.
Fish farmers like Eugenie know the difference such institutional support will make.
Moi, je crois que la CEDEAO peut nous aider techniquement.
I believe that ECOWAS can help us technically by sending experts to teach us good fishing techniques. ECOWAS can help us financially because fishing needs huge capital. So we need financial and technical support.
Overall, ECOWAS' intervention in the fishery sector of West Africa has the capacity of turning the sector around. Most fishermen are simple peasants who just want to earn a living and provide for their families. But fishing is no longer such a simple venture.
Donc si on peut harmoniser If we can harmonize the practice of fishing in the sub-region in all West African countries, this will bring those countries to use the same fishing technologies, to follow and respect the same rules